Hey guys, happy Monday. Welcome to Year 5 English for week 4. I hope you're all okay. I've seen some amazing English over the last couple of days. I'm really impressed with you guys. I hope you enjoyed the sun over the weekend and you kept safe with your families. You've kind of learnt some maybe life skills, maybe did some cooking with your families. That's a really good way of spending time with each other and also learning something fun. Yeah, so it's not been too bad, the weather. It's been nice and warm. Sunday especially I found was very warm. So shall we do some English? So today is lesson 6 of our myths and legends. Let me go down to this bubble. And it is Monday the 22nd of June, I think. I hope, etc. I always get my dates all muddled up. We have to record these the day before and then I forget what day of the week it is. So I hope it is Monday today. And yeah, Myths and Legends lesson 6. So you know the drill now. You need a pencil or pen or paper and you'll need the lesson 6 downloaded from the Grange website. So pause the video, make sure you've got everything ready. I'm sure you've already got it all ready because you guys are superstars now. But just make sure you've got it all done. So you will be able to understand by the end of this lesson who Atlas was and that there are morals in myths. And we'll find out what the word morals means later on in today's lesson. For our success criteria, you'll be able to know who Atlas was and why he was important. You'll be able to consider another person's point of view. And you'll be able to understand what a moral is. Sorry, I was just rereading what I'd written and I didn't know if it made sense. It does make sense. I understand what a moral is, yeah. So you'll be able to do all of those things in your success criteria. So pause the video while you write down today's date and LI, and then you'll be ready for the lesson. Okay, so then we're going to start off with a bit of a recap. So you're going to read the statements below, and I'll read them with you, and you're going to tell us whether they're true or false based on what you've learned so far in this topic. So it is based on the War of the Titans. So number 1, Rhea and Zeus joined forces against Kronos. Is that true or false? Zeus saved his siblings from Kronos' stomach. Is that true or false? The Cyclops gave Hades the trident. True or false? The war between the Titans and the gods was easily won by the gods. True or false? And Poseidon was the god of the underworld. True or false? Okay, now to help us, we can use, let me minimise that like this, we can use the Grange website. We can download, we go to online learning, let me just shuffle this along a little bit. Go to online learning, we go to year 5. There we go. And it was last week's English. Hopefully it's still up there. Yep, there we go. So let's have a look. Rhea and Zeus joined forces against Kronos. Well, they didn't really join forces against Kronos. Rhea had an idea and Zeus was only a baby, so Zeus couldn't really make a decision for himself. But Zeus did help Rhea with how she was feeling, so I would say that'd be okay if it was true. It'd also be okay if it was false. Just make sure you explain your reasons why. Zeus saved his siblings from Kronos' stomach. Well, of course, that is true. Hopefully you will have got that. The Cyclops gave Hades the trident. Now, do you see here? The trident was for Poseidon, so no, they didn't give Hades the trident. So that should be false. The war between the Titans and the gods was easily won by the gods. No, it wasn't easily won by the gods at all, was it? So that should be false as well. And Poseidon is the god of the underworld. Let's have a look. What do you remember? So, Poseidon ruled the waves. So no, it is false. So what I would like you to do if you are in blue zone is I would like you to correct the false statements that are there. Okay? So those that are false, can you correct them to make them true? Okay? Well done. If you need a little bit more time, then pause the video. But I'm going to carry on with today's lesson. So, a little bit of new vocabulary for you. We've got a little bit more after this for our glossary, but this is a really important word. So the word is eternity, and it's a noun, and it means infinite or unending time. So a correct example would be Zeus banished the Titans to Tartarus for eternity, forever. The ancient Greeks believed that the spirits of the deceased remained in the underworld for all of eternity. For infinite or unending time, forever. And there's some incorrect examples here. The eternity seeming lesson dragged on and on and on. The lesson might seem like it's taken eternity to finish, but it doesn't. In Harry Potter, Voldemort's search for eternity life. No, not at all. So, I want you to have a think. Would you choose to... That doesn't make any sense. I really do apologise. Would you choose to live for eternity? What might the advantages and disadvantages of living for eternity be? How could you overcome the challenges of eternal life? Okay, so I want you to write a paragraph, especially Blue Zone, but everyone else can at least write a couple of sentences. Would you want to live for eternity? Why? Yes? No? It's a free choice answer, no right or wrong answer. But make sure you give lots of detail and you spell eternity correctly and you use it correctly in your sentences. Pause the video while you write your sentences and paragraph. Do add this to your glossary if you need to. I would presume most of you will need to. So, some new vocabulary for us, for our glossary. So we have reproached, and that's to express someone's disapproval or disappointment in their actions, and that's a verb. Exact revenge, that means punish a person who has harmed them. It's a phrase. So if somebody has harmed you, you go back and punish them. That's not the right thing to do. Banish, to send someone away from a country or a place as a punishment that's official. So back in the times of ancient Greeks, they might banish somebody to another world or another country. It might be that they banish them to the underworld, and that's a verb, a doing word or an action word. Quash, and that's to put an end to rumours, and that is a verb as well. Rebellion, an act of armed resistance to an established government or leader. That's a noun today. Add any words that you're not sure of to your glossary. I hope your glossary is really improving. It's got lots more words and lots of definitions in there to help you. It's a really key skill to get used to for year 6, so you can learn lots of new words that will help you with your SATs. So we're going to go into our reading booklet. So this is not the one for today. You see, we've got today's and tomorrow's up there. We only need today's today, obviously. It's downloaded today. I do apologise. There we go. I don't want it big. No, wrong way. Okay. Now I know there's a couple of, actually we do want it big. There are a couple of mistakes in here, so I can only apologise. I just didn't check it, basically. So it says here, talk to your partner. Obviously, you don't have a partner. Okay? So, let's get reading. Hopefully you've downloaded it and we're ready to read. Atlas was not a god. He was a titan. Titans are giant creatures, 10 times the size of a man. Atlas felt strong because of his great size, but he also reproached the power of the gods. Now, what did that word reproach mean? Have a think. Maybe go back to the PowerPoint to help you or look at your glossary. He especially hated the power of the king of the gods. Who was the king of the gods? We learned about him. Learned a lot about him. He was also god of the skies. It was Zeus. Well done. Atlas talked to the other Titans about how much power the gods had. Together they hatched a plan to start a war against the gods, to challenge them and to try to win power. The Titans prepared for massive battles, building weapons and training armies, but the gods were very powerful and found out about the Titans' plans. The Olympians prepared to exact revenge. Do you remember? That's like retaliate on the Titans for seeking to overthrow them. After the war, the gods banished most of the Titans to Tartarus. Remember, that's in the underworld. But Zeus believed that Atlas was the main source of rebellion against him, and that he had hatched a plan for the war in the first place. He wanted to make an example out of Atlas, to quash any future rebellions, to stop it, to stop it in its tracks. He asked the other Olympians for their advice. What should Atlas's punishment be? Some gods argued that he should be imprisoned for life. Others argued that he should be put to death. Still others believed that he should be forced to serve the gods for his whole life. But the final decision rested with Zeus. Okay, if you were Zeus, how would you punish Atlas? There's a little gap there. If you haven't got it printed, that's fine. You can just write it down in your notebook. Right, a couple of sentences. How would you punish Zeus? Pause the video while you do it, because I'm going to carry on. Because you're all going to take different amounts of time. Zeus decided that none of the suggestions made by other gods was harsh enough. He came up with his own idea. He decided that Atlas would be forced to hold up the sky. It was impossibly heavy for the humans to hold, but Atlas was a mighty titan. This clearly wasn't harsh enough, so Zeus decided to give the punishment a cruel twist. Atlas was forced to hold up the sky, not just for a day, or a week, or a month, or a year, or a decade, or a century, but for eternity, for all of coming time. Zeus ordered that he would never be allowed to rest from his cruel task of holding up the sky. Now, activity B says, do you think this punishment is fair? Write a sentence explaining your opinion. Include the word eternity and myth. Make sure you spell them correctly and you got capital letters and full stops. You need to pause the video. I'm gonna carry on because otherwise I could be just sat here like twiddling my thumbs for ages. The moral. Ancient Greek myths often have morals or lessons we can learn from the story. So what moral might the ancient Greeks who told and heard this story have learned from Atlas's crime and punishment? What do you think the moral was for this myth? What lesson can be learnt from this myth? Pause the video while you write down your answer. Atlas's crime was to start a war. It was a war that was unnecessary. It was superfluous and unwinnable. One moral that the myth of Atlas taught the ancient Greeks was this: we should not start unnecessary, unwinnable wars. Did you write that down? It's okay if you didn't. You might have had a better or a different moral to learn by. Atlas's punishment was to hold up the sky for eternity. This is a never-ending punishment. Another moral that the myth of Atlas taught the ancient Greeks was this: if we make a bad choice, this brings bad consequences, and these bad consequences may last for eternity. We should think carefully about our choices and try to imagine all the possible consequences. I really like this bit because I think it still applies to us today. So I would like you all to answer this question. So we can go activity D. Why, let's take off that, why do you think this moral from Atlas's myth still applies to us today? Okay, I'd like you to do that, and that's for everyone to do. I'm just going to copy that, and I'm going to minimize that, and I'm going to open this. and I'm going to add it to the task, okay? So, your tasks today. Go through the recap questions, add things to your glossary, do the activities in the reading book and really understand who Atlas was and why he was important. What is a moral? Think about that. And then why do you think this moral from Atlas's myth still applies to us today? Okay, that's your challenge today. And don't forget to send everything in to yr5@grange.harrow.sch.uk. That's all from me today. Tomorrow we will be going on. Let's have a look at tomorrow's lesson. Oh, it's going to download again for us today. So we're going to know about learn about a different creation story. Okay, so that's tomorrow's lesson. I can't wait to do that with you guys tomorrow. And I can't wait to see your learning that you're going to send me on email today. So, don't forget, there's an extra activity D question there. And that's not what I wanted to do. I do apologise. And don't forget to send your work to yr5@grange.harrow.sch.uk. It's been nice seeing you guys. See you tomorrow. Bye.